Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open my recently acquired toys. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. My name is Russ, and if you're a fan of toys, action figures, or pop culture in general, consider subscribing to this channel because I've recently acquired, over the last few years or so, quite a few toys that for one reason or another I simply haven't opened. And as you can see, I definitely enjoy opening and displaying my toys. So I've decided to do so as a YouTube series. So maybe you, as a fellow collector, you don't open your toys. And now you can experience that process with me virtually. Or maybe you do open your toys and you like to see the joy on another person's face when he opens his too. So here I am. Maybe you don't get this at all, why a grown man would buy and open toys. And that's okay. Maybe I could be an ambassador of this happiness for you. And you can apply it to whatever hobby or passion you have in your life, like watching a sports game or cooking a great meal or sitting around and doing nothing. Whatever you enjoy doing the most, I hope you do it with as much passion as I have for opening these toys. Now, you've watched me open action figures, specifically superhero toys, the past few episodes. But I have another passion or interest when it comes to toy collecting as well, and it's food mascot memorabilia. As you can see from my shirt, I'm a big fan of food mascots, specifically fast food mascots, but I'm also a collector of all things Pillsbury Doughboy or the Jolly Green Giant and his little pal Sprout. I don't know why, I think these characters are as important to pop culture and Americana as Superman or Spider-Man are. In fact, I think that maybe they're even a little bit more important because these are characters that we've designed to influence our lives very specifically in what we buy, how we eat, and in the way we live. Superman, Spider-Man, they represent morals and they tell great tales of responsibility and principle. But Ronald McDonald or the Cheerios Honeybee is telling us what to eat, how to live. That literally manifests in our day-to-day life. Whether we acknowledge it or not, it's something that's always been there, at least as long as I can remember. So I find these characters equally intriguing, entertaining, and important. So of course, I collect them. I collect their toys. And so what I have today is kind of a double feature. I have two toys I'm going to open because they're small, and I presume, though I'm not really sure, I presume that they have minimal points, if any, points of articulation. So there won't be as much unpacking and exploration of these toys as there might be with an action figure. But what I have here are two Birdie the Early Bird toys from McDonald's Happy Meals in years past that I've acquired probably just thrifting at Goodwill or a local vintage shop of some sort. And to commemorate that they are both Birdie the Early Bird, I have a cup of coffee here in my Good Morning McDonald's mug. So I'm just gonna, yes, that's what I needed. Okay. So, what you can't see here in my apartment is an entire wall of fast food mascot toys. From the McDonald Land Gang to the Burger King, to Jack in the Box and Taco Bell. You know, all of these characters that we know today, like Ronald, the Burger King, Jack in the Box, they all had a little motley crew of characters, or many of them did, that kind of supported the brand alongside the headlining character or the namesake of the restaurant. And I'm a big fan of all of that mythology. Birdie the Early Bird, of course, was introduced to promote the breakfast menu that we all kind of take for granted today. It's served all day, every day. There was a time when you could only get the stuff before 10:30 a.m., kids, if you can imagine that. You got a crazy hankering for a sausage McMuffin at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, you can get it. And this is a golden age for the Golden Arches in that regard. But when I was a kid, you got there at 10:31 a.m., you were cut off. It was over until the following morning when they reopened because they weren't 24 hours. I know, crazy times. Anyway, of course, to promote not just the brand, but all of these wonderful characters, toys have been released. And I guess when they weren't carrying like a Disney license or something, McDonald's would squeeze in some toys of their own characters. And there's a whole lot of them. So these are two Birdie the Early Bird toys from two totally different lines. I'm going to open this one first. It's the Birdie Toy Sound Maker. You can see that. I think I have two other toys from this series. I think I have the Hamburglar and a Ronald Whistle. So I presume Grimace is the fourth and final figure I'll need to complete this set. Now, some might find opening these toys controversial because 1996 is the date or the year on this bag, and this is considered vintage now. Not antique per se, but it's certainly considered vintage. So to open it is kind of, you know, violating the sanctity of its original condition. But again, what good is this to me in a bag that's only getting more and more tattered with time? The graphic will inevitably fade. I would much rather have the toy in hand so that I can display it properly and enjoy it. So with that said, I am going to open first Birdie Toy Sound Maker. Here we go. 1996. Here it is, folks. Okay, it looks like it is a kind of a makeshift harmonica. There's no instruction. And since this is open for the first time, my lips will be the first lips applied to it. So I'm just gonna blow into Birdie here and see what happens. There you go. I assume this is the end in which I'm to blow because it's just the most easily accessible. On this end, it's kind of, you know, yeah, definitely this end. It's taking a little bit of wind out of me here. But there you go. Birdie Toy Sound Maker from 1996. Very cool graphic and shape in general. She's kind of like, I guess this would be like she's about to swoop down and snatch that hash brown right out of your breakfast, right off your breakfast tray. But very cool. And let me see, easy enough to display. Look at that. Stands on her own. Awesome. Very pleased with that. Moving on. This is the Birdie Luger. Is that how you say that? I probably should have done some research. But here's where you as a fellow collector potentially are going to lose your mind here. I think this is some sort of Asian exclusive. If you could see that. 1997. Contents made in China. See back for safety information. And the back is, well, it's English on the bottom. But with that on the top, I'm not sure if that's because this was released exclusively in an Asian country. But I'm going to open it and enjoy it, like I said. And it looks like she comes with a track that may be connectable to other tracks, meaning once you have all of the characters in the series, you could create some sort of Luger team situation. But here we go. I'm opening this. If this is worth like hundreds of dollars, I'm throwing it right down the toilet here, aren't I? But here we go. Boom. We're open. And like I said, here's some sort of track piece that looks like it could be connected to other tracks. And the Birdie is in her own bag. The bag within the bag, reminiscent of Hamlet's play within the play. I'm sure that's what they had in mind when they packaged this. Just tearing open the bag with no regard to the plastic whatsoever. And there's a little, oh, it looks like a sticker. Oh, that I apply to her chest. So a first for Just Open It, folks, where there's a sticker that needs application to that space on her chest. Now there's a little ball here, so you can see that. And then with the track. So I don't know if this is something that I would have connected. It definitely is interconnectable with other track pieces that I assume the other characters come with. So on its own, that's what I'm looking at here. So let me grab that figure so I can put the sticker on her chest and conclude this video for you. Fortunately, I was wearing pants. Okay. So again, 1997. This sticker is what? 25 years old? Let's see if it adheres to her chest with ease. I actually hated this as a kid and still kind of do, because it's like you get one shot at making it look good, right? Well, I don't know how long it will last, but it looks like the adhesive is working. And this birdie is now complete, ready to fly off of her Luger track and onto my shelf with her friends. So, two very interesting and different Birdie the Early Bird toys here from McDonald's, 1996, 1997. Again, I just find these characters absolutely essential to our American mythology. And when I say these characters, I don't mean just the Ronald McDonald Land gang. I mean any food or advertising mascot that influences us in how to spend our money and live our lives. It's almost Grecian or Roman in its scope, and in how those gods kind of tried to mess with and influence humanity's ways. So too do these characters, way more so than the likes of Batman or Captain America, because we acknowledge those characters as fictional in their own world, but we've invited these creations into our world to tell us what to do. So again, I just think there's something very mythic and interesting about that. And as a result, I'm a big fan of these kind of characters. They evoke a bit of nostalgia, of course, as well. And it's a delight to find these little toys in the wild and add them to my collection. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you'll tune in again next time when I look at one of these toys laying around in my apartment, and I tell myself, you know what? Just open it! I'll see you next time.